Donta invited me to speak. We all have a lot of responsibilities. Obviously, me as one of the executives of the company, I have a tremendous amount of responsibilities that don't involve this type of engagement. But my own fulfillment, my purpose, what drives me, what gets me fired up is actually this type of engagement. You know, it's the relationships that we build in this industry. Looking back at my own career, the best moments of my career all have to do with meeting people like you and building connections and relationships. You know, this industry, it will introduce you to the most amazing people in the world. I think network marketing, honestly, you will meet people that you cannot even get access to in any other industry. It just makes crazy, crazy connections. So thank you very much for bringing me out here because I love events like this. And also I do want to give a round of applause for Donta putting all of this together with his team.
Yes.
Everything's been excellent, and the timing is incredible with everything happening in our world right now. So because we've been on lockdown for months, and this feels so good, so refreshing to come meet up with people that we love, to connect and to grow together. So thank you for stepping up and being proactive and putting this event together.
Appreciate it.
So what I want to do first is, does everyone have a pen and a paper?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need you guys to write down 2 things for me. All right, 2 things. Now, I'm going to give you a few minutes to write this down because I want you to really think about what you're going to write down. All right, and here's the instructions. Is number 1, I want you to write down the time in your life that was the best day in your life. Now, how do I define the best day? I want you to think about a time where you as a person, you felt invincible. You felt strong. You felt empowered. You felt incredible. Maybe a miracle happened in your life. Maybe something happened in your life that made you feel like you were the king or the queen of the world. I want you to think back to a time like that where you were feeling in such a way where nothing could get you down at that time in your life because you were just feeling too strong. You were too empowered. Nothing could shake you on that day. You know, we all have moments that we can look back on and be like, man, I remember that day, the way I was feeling. I felt strong, invincible. That was the best day of my life. I'll never forget that day. Number 2, okay, I want you to get out of that thought, get out of that emotion, leave that thought alone once you've done written that, and I want you to find the exact opposite. Meaning I want you to think about the worst day of your life. And what do I mean by the worst day? The time where you were the most depressed, the time where you felt the weakest. You had no strength. Maybe you felt hopeless. Maybe nothing that anyone could say to you at that time would even cheer you up because you were down in the slumps and you were having a very, very rough time. What happened to you? What was that moment like? How did that day come about? Okay, and so the main thing that I want you to get from this is when you're choosing which days to write down, I want it to be about how that time in your life made you feel. Okay, because what we're going to talk about right now in this session is about you feeling a certain type of way, because how many of you guys know that if you really want to conquer your life, you want to succeed, you want to perform, you want to be better for your family, better for your friends, you want to be a better business person, you want to be better at personal development, everything, you got to feel good. You got to feel good. You cannot feel hopeless. You cannot feel depressed. You cannot feel weak and disempowered and then think you're going to go out there and conquer the world. Right? And so I want you to look at 2 different contrasting times in your life where you did feel like you could conquer the world, and then obviously a time where you couldn't conquer anything because that was the worst day of your life. So take a few minutes, write those down, and I'll check back with you guys in the next probably 3 or 4 minutes. It's what you wrote down. Your emotions transcend time. Okay, emotions are not bound by time. Now, here's the next step. This is what I want you guys to do. Okay, all of you guys wrote down your most powerful day that made you feel invincible, gave you joy, made you feel unstoppable, and then you also wrote down something that made you feel completely weak, hopeless, small, powerless, depressed, a hard time in your life. Okay? I need one more person who's again has the courage to come up, and I wanna ask a couple more questions to someone else.
I'll come up.
Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike got a story from the Great Depression.
There is no one older. Oh no, there's not. I remember the 1800s.
Now, Byron got to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Okay. So basically, I'm gonna ask a similar question as I asked Jonas. You have experience. This isn't your first rodeo. You've been around the block. You've built a family. You've built businesses and stuff. What's your opinion with your own experience when it comes to thinking about being a human being? Do you think that that's powerful, being a human being? Do human beings possess power?
Yes,
They do.
absolutely.
Okay, can you share why? Why would you say yes so confidently?
Because everything that we do in life is based on us being humans. The way we eat, the way we think, the way we make decisions, the way we sympathize, the way we empathize in some cases. It's all based on us as human beings, with everything that we do, no matter what we do.
Okay.
How we influence people, good, bad, or indifferent, is all based on the power that we have as human beings.
Okay, all right, I would concur with that. All right, now can you tell us the time that you wrote down that you said it was your most powerful day on how when you felt invincible, you felt unstoppable, what happened?
There's two actually, Harrison's birth and my son Jackson.
Okay, so two child's birth.
Yes.
Okay, and so briefly describe those moments. So you had a birth of two different boys in your life, and can you describe how you felt during those moments of those birthings?
Powerful, scared in a good way, excited. I was older. I was 33 and 36, so the fact that there was a point that I didn't think that was going to happen. So that I grew up in foster homes. I grew up in a traditional black dad left, beat me. I mean, the stereotypical, that was it. So it was, I knew I was not going to be that, so I embraced it. And I was going to take my children to the next level. So it was very empowering for me to be 33 and 36, coming from a broken home, coming from a father that had been in prison, drug addict. I mean, he was that 70s dude. I mean, he was that, the hat tilted, the I'm gonna get you, sucker. And the guy comes from jail. Ever see that movie? That was my dad. That was my dad with that Superfly. And I knew I was not gonna be that. So I attacked, to this day, I attacked being that dad.
Okay.
So that was I knew that I was gonna be that powerful dad.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Okay, so you're saying you had two sons. Now, having those two sons, you're seeing the miracle of life, you're expanding your legacy, and then you're also now relating that though to your own father of maybe his shortcomings as a father and how exciting that was for you to know that you're going to be different with your children. You're going to provide a different life for your kids. And you're saying that was what made you feel powerful?
Yes, because I knew that I was going to be able to build a foundation and that power that was going to be able to help them to become anything they want. Like the sky was going to be the limit for them when it came to their potential. And that excitement, that power, being able to build that for them was empowering.
Okay, so that you're talking about generational change. I mean, that's crazy. All right, now, that's amazing that you've been able to make a positive impact in your son's lives, considering how your dad treated you. Now, let's go to the dark side. Okay, you've also had moments that were not fun to experience. take us through that moment in your life when you felt powerless, maybe hopeless. What happened? Why did you feel small? Why did you feel, whether it was inferior or you couldn't do anything about it, you felt weak, worst day of your life? What day did you assign those emotions to?
The day that I walked into federal prison and heard that door close. Not county jail, federal prison, and heard that metallic, and I knew I was going nowhere for 2 years and 1 month. Nowhere. There was no, and as big as my mouth is, I was scared to death.
How did you, did you feel in that moment, you're saying, okay, that's it, I'm done for the next 2 years. Did you feel like your power was depleted?
No, it was less than depleted. Freedom. And don't forget, I had committed a white collar crime. So I had gone from that to prison. And I was small. As you guys know, I didn't know if I was going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person. I didn't know, again, the whole don't drop the soap. So I was thinking it was not minimum. So it was not like, tennis. It was Fort Leavenworth, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and it was brutal. They treated me like I was, that whole story of white collar, you're happy, that's a fallacy. It doesn't go that way. There is no club fed anymore. And I had to, I'm just gonna say it, I'm very white mannered, and I had to adapt. I walked in and I'm half white and half black, and I didn't know if this group was going to accept me or that other group damn sure wasn't going to accept me. And it was, and a lot of tears, a lot of fear. I didn't shower for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I didn't go to the bathroom. It almost came out of me because I was afraid to sit, and it was hard.
How long did that last? From the moment that the door closed, you heard the metal shut, you're like, okay, damn, that's it, 2 years, my life's over right now. How long did that sense of failure and weakness, gray cloud of your life, how long did that stay with you while you were in prison? Was it the whole time?
It stayed with me until even I got out.
Even until you got out?
Because I was afraid of having the stigma of, now I've got 4 felonies, I've been in prison, what am I going to do? An employer, where you've been the last 25 months, and all of that, what I had lost, what happened on the outside. So it lasted until a year and a half after. Don't forget, I hadn't really seen any television. I had to eat when I was being told. I didn't, I hadn't had access to regular anything. Clothes, literally. So it lasted, that fear lasted for a year at least until after I was out.
Okay, so that's like 3 years.
Yeah, even it lasts to this day. Even though I'm successful now, like when Harrison was a Cub Scout, I wanted to be a den leader, and they let me be a den leader, but I couldn't coach his brother's soccer team. And the woman actually said to me, "You're a felon. You're no different than a pedophile." And this was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Yeah. Not knowing that, so even to this day, that fear still, because I still have to admit that I'm a felon.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to get away from it. And I'm black. So I'm a black felon. And so there's so that fear, it'll never go away.
The stigma remains.
I can be as wealthy and we can hit 250, and that will never, that fear that, here I go, I've got, cops stopping me. I still, and anyone does it, like if this company did a hard background check, like a hard, you'd know everything that happened.
Yes.
So that particular fear, I never, when I get pulled over, because it's a federal, every cop knows that I've been in prison. There's no way around it. So that's still never left. Still won't be.
All right, thank you for walking us through that. You can go back to your seat.
I'm like, my story
Honestly,
is nowhere near.
because it's, for a lot of the younger people, I mean, I'm sure there's still some powerful stories, but I appreciate both of you like sharing that because a lot of us kind of realize that, you know, some of our stuff.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay, here's a question for you guys. So Mike Manuel said, a lady. When did the lady tell you about felony and
A couple of years ago,
A
yeah.
couple years ago.
Jackson was like 8 or something.
And how old is he now?
17.
Okay, so like 9 years ago. So check this out. Yeah, we get older, don't we?
Yeah, it all meshes into one. It's all one.
Think about this, guys. Think about this. Okay, to me, this is powerful. 9 years ago, a woman told him that because he was a felon, he's no different than a pedophile. Crazy. And this is a man with children.
Yes.
Calling a human with children a pedophile,
Yes.
if they are not a pedophile, it's one of the worst things you could say to a parent.
That's right.
Now watch this. Watch this, guys. I'm going to show you how limited we are. Wow. I'm going to show you how limited we are. And this is truth. Let me ask you. What that woman said 9 years ago, was it true?
No.
Was it a lie?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was a false opinion?
Yeah.
And yet, 9 years later,
Still there.
it's still affecting us.
Yes.
It's still with Mike. He still remembers it. His brain knew to bring that up. You want to talk about trauma, being in federal prison? Oh, his brain all of a sudden found, oh, wait. Boom, let's go back over here. Remember that other time that you're no better than a pedophile?
Yes.
Whoa, boom, I remember that time. How quick was his brain to find that moment in time 9 years ago, bring it into 2020, and then bring that energy, that lie, that false opinion into our lives today in 2020 for us to have to empathize, like you said, and walk alongside of you through that and be frustrated and be upset that someone would say that to him 9 years ago. One statement that took 2 seconds to produce has carried itself 9 years into the future and still affecting people's lives. To me, that's powerful. To me, that points to our limitations, our handicaps as human beings. How we consciously, I said, Janice and Mike, I brought them up here. Are human beings innately powerful? Yes. Why? Because we can change. We can influence. We can impact. Can anyone take that away from you? No. Nobody can. But in moments of time, when things happen, it does. It does take away our power. We do forget who we are. That's another quality of a human being that does not exist in the animal kingdom, is that human beings, as innately powerful as we are the only creatures on this earth who forget who we are. We lose our identity every day of our life. Now, the reason I wanted people to come up here and share, what was your most powerful day? What was your weakest day? This is tough. This is very tough. Okay? There's a lot of subconscious things on being attached to events that happened in our life. But guess what? Look at, right now, look at your powerful day. And look at your bad day. Look at it. What did you write down? What was powerful for you and what took away your power? When did you feel weak? When did you feel strong? What does this expose? What does it show? Is that, what did I say in the beginning of my talk? I'm going to show you how humans behave consciously and unconsciously. Now, you will learn that unconscious behavior is 1,000,000 times more powerful than conscious behavior. You consciously know things innately because you're a human, yet unconsciously you do the exact opposite of what you said you know. Your worst day was probably something outside of yourself. What does that mean? It means that you are innately powerful as a human being. And yet something outside of yourself, a circumstance of life, you believed removed that power from you. You gave your power away as a human being because of a circumstance in your life where you allowed yourself to be deceived, to feel weak, to feel hopeless, to feel lied to have your power removed from your life. Even though we will all stand here and say, yeah, humans are powerful, then why does a circumstance take that away from you? I asked both people, can anyone remove that from your life? No. Okay, so consciously you know nothing can remove power from you as a human being. Yeah, no, nothing can. But in this moment, did you lose your power? Yeah, I lost it all. Wait, you just said it can't happen. You consciously know, but you unconsciously don't know. Okay? You also believe that circumstances outside of yourself that you have no control over give you power. Think about that. We as humans live circumstantially. Derek yesterday put on Facebook, we are more powerful than our circumstances. That is a conscious statement that we know consciously. Yeah, we are. But when rubber hits the road, when life gets real, we forget that. And we go through these roller coasters of deceptions and wrong beliefs, saying, I'm powerful today because my circumstances are great. Oh, crap happened in my life. All my power is gone. And you know what's so tough, guys? Is that we as humans enable that. When someone is telling us that they've lost all their power, our natural reaction is to say, you're right. I'm sorry you're going through that. You lost all your power. This ain't fair. Because of our intentions of love. We don't want to hurt. We want to build up. And we think, with our intentions, we think that we're responding correctly to a circumstance by enabling someone losing their power instead of bringing truth that no power has been lost. That your innate qualities as a human have not changed no matter what's going on in your life. Your power does not change. Now, your ability as an entrepreneur in Avoria Prime, network marketing, any business that you do, being a family man, being a mother, building a successful social community like iMPACT, your ability to be effective is largely controlled and dictated by your ability to stay in your power as a human being. To not accept the circumstances of your life as a reality or as anything that can take your power away. Because you all know, and I know, that nothing, no one's opinion, no circumstance, no mistake that we make can take away our innate ability as human beings. Let me tell you something. You are not defined by your actions. 4 felonies. That doesn't define you. Did that happen to you? It absolutely did. Does it define you? No. What we do does not define you. You know how many personal development books talk about your actions define you? Do you know how wrong that is? Your actions don't define you as a human. You being human defines you, not what you do, because we're all going to make mistakes. We're going to be effective and we're going to be ineffective because that's the world we live in, and that does not define us. But I'll tell you another truth. Who you believe you are will dictate what you do. All of our behaviors, our decisions, our words, our choices, everything that a person does in their life shows one thing. That's who they believe they are. Our belief, our unconscious belief, controls our decisions and controls our actions. So it's a sign. It's a sneak peek into what a person believes. I've learned as in my journey, when someone, no matter how bad something is, where someone defines something as being absolutely terrible, I've learned to come to certain circumstances with a very high level of understanding, saying, look, this person that did that, it doesn't offend me, it shows who they believe they are. We all live in our own realities. We all behave according to who we believe we are. We all interpret and define circumstances as being empowering, disempowering, good, bad situations. All of it's a lie. All of it's untrue. None of it has power. Okay? Now, I have another session tomorrow that I'm going to take you through, and I'm about at my time limit. This is what I want to say on this session here, is this. We've proven that emotion transcends time. I've proven to you that in an instant, you have the ability to change the environment right now. Right now you can change. You can be powerful. You can influence. But you can't give what you don't have. You want to be at a leadership retreat, this tells me you want to be a powerful person. You can't be a powerful person and give power, influence, and change other people's lives if you don't possess it. But you know that no one can take it from you. It's in you. Power is in you at all times. It never goes away. Don't lie to yourself. Don't let other people lie to you and tell you that you're powerless or tell you that it's been taken from you or allow you to feel weak. Don't lie to yourself to feel weak. Your ability as a leader is to live in the innate power that you have as a human being in every circumstance of your life. Guess what? 2 weeks ago, when the markets went crazy and I saw people blowing their accounts, I felt powerful. I'm fired up right now. I talked to some leaders in our company. They're like, man, we see a new product. Like, man, the belief level of my team, man, people are stressed out and all that. And all I see is a person who's lost their power. They don't know who they are. They're listening to other people who've lost their power, who don't know who they are. I know who I am. My power's on autopilot. You can't take away Sal Leto's power. Yeah. No different than anybody in this room. We are all humans. We all possess the same innate power. And if you want to overcome in this industry, if you want to do something big, you want to be impactful, you have to live in that power. Do not accept temporary circumstances to limit your life and to limit your ability to make influence, impact, and change. When the markets go crazy, we go weeks being dead, losing all power, making no influence. The world we live in, this is a dog-eat-dog world. You have to have thick skin. You have to be aggressive. If you have power and momentum for 1 month, and then all of a sudden something happens circumstantially to you, and you give up all of your hope and get all depressed, frustrated, stressed out for 2 weeks, you just removed all the power you built up for the whole month prior. Just like the Forex markets. You could have 10 weeks of profit. One bad week wipes it out. That's life. The Forex market is a perfect depiction of how life works. So it's your responsibility, if you want to be effective as a leader, is to not allow those temporary setbacks to ruin everything you've done prior to that. Don't allow your work to go in vain. Prop your work up. Support your work. That is a visionary. A human being who walks in their power and does not accept outside opinions or circumstances to tell a human what the human is. We cannot forget who we are. You want people to follow you? Show them that you live in your power. You want to attract people into your life? Walk in your power. People will say something's different about this guy. Why? It's just because he knows he's human. He knows what a human being is. He knows what a human being is capable of. If you don't walk in your power, no one's going to follow you. You're not attractive as a leader if you don't walk in your power. Don't succumb to the weaknesses of other people who are less developed than you. I see less developed people influencing more developed people. It makes no sense. That's the tail wagging the dog. Okay? You lead and you live in your power. We're going to get into more of that tomorrow. That's going to be my first session. Thank you guys. Woo!
Sign up for the mailman.
He's about to sign up the mailman.